Well, hours after being sworn in as the chief advisor to Bangladesh's newly constituted interim government, Nobel laureate Mohammad Yusuf has sprung into action in what comes as his first decision after assuming office. Yunus has allotted ministries. Interestingly, he has retained 27 ministries. These also include critical ministries like defense, education, road and transport, as well as bridge, housing, food, agriculture, railways, to name a few. Whereas Mohammad Nasheed Islam has been allocated the posts of Telecommunications and Information Technology Ministry and Asif Mahmood the Youth and Sports Ministry. The country's armed forces and other law enforcement agencies have decided in a meeting to start operations at all police stations across the country within the next 24 hours. The request has been made to return the looted or lost weapons and ammunition from various police stations, outposts and police lines in Bangladesh to the nearest Rapid Action Battalion office or the army headquarters. The nation might finally be coming back to normal. This after Nobel laureate Mohammad Yunus took oath as the head of Bangladesh's interim government.
Using the means of revolution, Bangladesh will create its new dawn of victory. Keeping this vision ahead of us, we have to keep going. I want to express my gratitude and praise the youths who've made this possible. They have protected this country and given it rebirth, and we wish for this new Bangladesh to progress with speed.
Now, shortly after Yunus was sworn in, the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi greeted him. Prime Minister Modi said India hopes for an early return to normalcy, ensuring the safety and protection of Hindus and all other minority communities. He added that India is committed to working with Bangladesh to fulfill the shared aspirations of both countries for peace, security and development. Well, after Yunus took oath as the head of the interim government, Sheikh Hasina's son made a U-turn and said his mother is back in leadership role. In an exclusive interview to WION, Wazed blamed Pakistan's ISI for fueling the protests. He also raised doubts about the US's role.
You mentioned about foreign intelligence. You also mentioned about ISI, which is Pakistan's intelligence arm. If you can elaborate on what you suspect as their role in the protest and the eventual toppling up of a very stable Hasina government.
I mean, I believe the role was on social media and online and spending money in the media to inflame the situation and then supplying weapons. That, I believe, is what the actions were.
And so,
behind this.
And sir, do you suspect involvement of any other country, perhaps China or US?
No, I'm positive China is not involved because China has never interfered in our internal affairs. But the US, who knows? It's entirely possible.
So do you suspect the American role as well?
I have no evidence. I cannot say definitively, but I wouldn't rule it out.
What next for Bangladesh? What's your assessment? What will happen in Bangladesh?
Well, look, we have seen these interim governments in Bangladesh before. These governments picked by a handful of individuals consisting of elite. The last time we had that was in 2007, 2008. Within that government totally failed to run the country. The economy completely stalled. They could not control it. It became completely corrupt. We shall see what happens with this government now. That's why I feel that this government's priority should be to hold elections as soon as possible and return democracy, because they are an undemocratic government. They are unelected. Now, it doesn't matter if a small group of protesters wants them. And mind you, 20,000 or even 50,000 protesters in Bangladesh is a tiny fraction of the population. We have 170 million people. They do not represent the will of the majority at all. So it is a completely unconstitutional situation. It is a completely undemocratic government. But we shall see. If they don't hold elections soon and try to hold on to power, I think Bangladesh is going to end up like Pakistan or Afghanistan.
You also in the past have mentioned to WION interview that it can end up like Pakistan. So in terms of what element of Pakistan, do you see continuous instability in Bangladesh now?
Without the Awami League, without a strong government, you see, the only strong government Bangladesh has had in its history, and this is a proven track record that has provided stability, and you have said this, no one can deny it. Everyone has said this and everyone says this. The only government in the history of Bangladesh that has provided stability, security, and economic growth has been Sheikh Hasina's government. No other government has been able to do it. So there is your right answer right there. Without Sheikh Hasina, Bangladesh economy will stagnate, it will never be stable, it will never be secure.
In terms of your involvement in Bangladeshi politics or your sister's involvement in Bangladeshi politics, could we in future, not tomorrow or this year, perhaps in next 5 years or 10 years, you also coming to Bangladesh, your sister also coming to Bangladesh and playing an important role in the Bangladeshi politics? Can we see that?
I can't really answer that. My family, myself included, we've never been interested in politics. The only reason, and in fact you heard me on Monday, that my family was done with politics because that was our intent. The only reason I am staying involved, the only reason I changed direction is because our people were being killed and I have to do whatever it is for them. So the reality is BNP and Awami League are the two largest political parties in Bangladesh. Whenever there is democracy, whenever you have elections, one of these two parties is going to win. Power is going to switch between these two parties for the foreseeable future. No one can stop it. Both of us, there are 170 million people in Bangladesh. Each of us has tens of millions of followers and voters. That's not going to go away anytime soon, no matter what anyone tries to do. So I don't know about myself personally, but Awami League will be back in power someday, whether it's sooner or later. It is inevitable.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.